Twitch. Make sure that everything's going on. I probably should walk on screen. Still got to get used to that. And I think we're good. So, hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson, and it is July 25th, and this is the July 25th TextQuest Devstream. So, today we are going to be working on a new system that a couple of people actually tried to tap into, I guess, at PopCon this year. Or rather, they tried to access the functionality that's not there yet, which is basically looking around a room and seeing what is going on. If you've ever played an old school text-based adventure like Zork, you can just say look, and if you don't specify anything, what actually happens is it doesn't examine yourself or an item in your inventory. It actually examines the room you're in, and then it tells you, basically the description for that room, the same description that you would normally get the first time you entered a room. And then if you dropped anything in the room, it would say, like there's a bloody axe on the floor or something like that. So we're going to be messing around with that functionality today. Hello, Scorpio and Anthony. Welcome back. Did you? Huh. I haven't seen an alert. Okay. I will have to look at that. See if I can find that. Either way, welcome. How are you guys doing today? Alright, so the way I'm planning on handling this sort of examine room functionality is I have what are called level zones, and these are basically, I'll actually go ahead and play the scene real quick. Currently all these do is whenever you enter a room, it shows you a little bit of a text entry at the bottom saying what the room is. So when we first start playing here, you'll see that it says castle, and then, oh, I guess I'm here. So let me leave this area real quick. So we'll open this up. So if I enter the hallway, it says entrance hall, and if I come in here, it's going to say throne room. So that's mostly what level zones are built for. And when I originally created them, or when I originally created this level zone system, I actually created it with the intention of eventually implementing this look functionality, but I kind of didn't. I never got around to it because I wasn't sure how to properly implement it. But I think I have a decent idea of how to do that now. So, all right, I will go on Steam after the dev stream, and I will accept your friend request. If I must have just missed it in my inventory. That's weird. You'd think that that would be very hard to miss. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I guess I'm just not very observant when I launch Steam. In any case. So, the main challenge here is that it's not just, entering a level zone and then changing everything that, or I guess changing the output that's expected. Because if we look at the castle is actually a fairly straightforward sort of level. Hold on, let me go ahead and turn off my test spawn so I don't spawn in the middle there. So you can see these sort of colored outlines, these boxes here. They're a little tough to see. But those are actually all of the level zones. And if I come up here to the castle, it'll actually highlight them in a more solid fashion. And I actually have a zone section here. So the castle has 5 zones: the entrance hall, which is blue, the throne room, which is yellow, the drawing room, which is green, the bedroom, which is purple, and then the secret passage, which is red. And all of these are sequential. There's none of them have overlap, and none of them have, how do I say it? None of them have, or none of them are nested inside of each other. But if we go to the overworld, we start running into some problems pretty quickly. Let's do the Hero's Grove, I guess. That one's probably fine. Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on. Let me unmute my tab real quick. That sounds like there's audio. Let me unmute my tab real quick. There's audio on my end. Oops, hold on. Sorry, trying to debug this. All right. So you can see here, this is the Heroes Grove where you'll get the, fittingly enough, Hero Sword. And this red block or red square, red block, whatever. This red area in the center is a level zone. So if we again select our level, we can see that we have a zone called Pedestal of Heroes. And if we play the game, when we approach that pedestal, it'll say, whatever. Now, this presents us with a problem because, so this is the Pedestal of Heroes zone, because this is a zone within another zone. And that means that we need to account for things like that, where you have a level zone that's surrounded by another zone. So when we transition out of this zone, we'll have to transition to a different description when we would type look. So that's going to be part of the difficulty for today, I guess. And we might not even. I was trying to think about this before the Devstream today. My plan was to have I guess. Let me actually select our Grove Shrine. Here we are. My plan was to add a reference to another level zone here that was sort of like the surrounding level zone. So when you transition out of a level zone, it would say set the level zone that's active to be this one. But I might still do that. But in addition to that, I'm also going to need a default state. So if you're not in a level zone, then you should probably have some sort of default area that it can examine. And this is going to be really, really tricky because what you would logically want to happen here, I'm going to go back to the castle real quick. Oh no, I hit save and now it's going to save everything. So you don't, when you examine a room, you're going to get a description for the room. So if you examine, say, the drawing room over here, it would say it is a drawing room, or well, maybe not. It's a drawing room. Say something like there's a portrait of the king on the wall, and maybe whatever description I can come up with, but I'm not good at coming up with it off the top of my head. And then it would also list any items that are in the room. Now that makes it really, really tricky because you don't want to list items that are in, say, the bedroom if you are in the drawing room, and you don't want to list items in the throne room if you're in the drawing room as well. And that also brings into question a lot of things like how do I want to handle item placement? So it has to dynamically add items to the description if you drop them in there. So if I pick up an item in the throne room and then I drop it in the drawing room, the drawing room's look description has to say, there's a whatever on the floor. And then of course we have problems of what happens when people, drop an item on the table. Should I somehow detect that it's been dropped on the table and say where it's been dropped and all that? Because ideally, yes, I would do something like that. But I'm not sure how I would handle that very well. So you can see why this kind of spirals out. Chris playing D&D and not have good enough data. Man. Are you still having trouble? Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I guess I could try to adjust the streaming bits or the bit amount on my stream, but it should be pretty good. I think it's using recommended specs. Is anyone else getting choppy video? or audio, I guess. Uh, anyway, so you can see how this system kind of sprawls out very quickly. So I think we're going to start off sort of very basic. We're just going to start off with a room description. We're not going to worry about dropped items. We're not going to worry about um, anything else. We're just going to say when you say look and you don't specify a verb or a noun, it should just look in the area. Now, we also get into a problem with things like if you're interacting with an object and you type look, it's going to try to interact with that object instead. So it's going to try to look at whatever you're interacting with. So to show you what that is. So that means that I need to also be able to type look around to allow you to actually examine the room. So for example, if I type look here, it's going to examine the painting. Versus if I type look here, when I'm not interacting with anything, it's going to ask me what I want to interact with. So it's going to be nuts. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on this. I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot. Make sure that I have. Okay. So let's get rid of some of my stuff that I was working on yesterday. Here we are. Level zone. All right. So I probably should have tooltips here. Add these real quick. So tooltips tag for the player character. I guess I don't really need one for the ID. All right. So next we're gonna do public level zone ID. Surrounding zone equals level zone ID dot none. Let's go ahead and have a tooltip for that. We're just going to say zone ID for the zone surrounding this one. All right. So this should help us identify a zone that's sort of encompassing another zone. And we'll actually go over to the Grove to test that. Actually, I guess we can't. Oh, man. Yeah, this is where we need a default state too. Jeez. So the Hero's Grove is not set up to have sort of nested zones. It just has a zone in the middle of it. With the idea being that everywhere else is just the Grove. So I don't really want to have a zone that surrounds the entire level for it to default to. So instead, when you're outside of a zone, it should just default to whatever. If that's not set. So if we don't have the surrounding zone set up to be anything, if we just leave it as none, then if you leave and a new zone is not set, then it would just use a generic zone, basically, one that doesn't actually exist in the scene. So, oh, and I also just realized I misread Scorpio's post. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Oh, either way. Sorry, Scorpio. I didn't realize what you were saying. Is there a lot of fighting, like the troll? Oh yeah, with the D&D stuff that he's doing. Who knows? We can only hope. There aren't always trolls in D, or there are not always trolls in DRD. D&D. I can't talk tonight. All right. In any case, so for the most part, surrounding zones are probably going to be left to none. But I need to come up with a sort of structure for this. All right. Let's go to level zone here. Zone info, environment base, zone info. Right. No, that's nothing. Let's see. I know I have this it? Hint criteria? I might actually have. Oh, right. I remember. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. So I started to create a hint system. There's going to be a lot of overlap with this. Yeah, this is crazy. Okay. Oh, man. Right. So I started to actually make the system work, but I don't know. I don't remember how far I got. I know that it's not actually hooked up yet. Let's go to level manager, go to definition, hints. Here we are. Find all references. First default, update hints, add hints, blah, return hints. Here we are, get hint. Find all references. Okay. So the hint system is kind of just your standard affair for adventure games. Oh yeah. Um, yeah, the hint system is definitely something that I think will help people. Actually, I've been replaying some old Sierra games. Started playing Phantasmagoria, and wow, I definitely think that a hint system is kind of I wouldn't say it's not a necessity, but it is very nice to have for in case you need it, or if you just forget what you're doing, or if you're not sure what to do next, because maybe you missed something. It's very useful for that. But the trick is that the reason that the hint system never got completed, I remember now, is because I wasn't fully sure how to implement it. And also, I wasn't sure if I should have a per level hint system or if I should have a uh, per, like just over the entire game. Um, so instead, I think I am going to settle on a per level hint system, mostly because that way I can just say if you've collected everything in the area and there's nothing left to do, um, you can just say there's nothing really interesting here. So let me go ahead and go to throne room. Let me set all this stuff up. There's none. We're going to be in the throne room. Oh, and this is actually entrance hall. Oh, jeez. Right, this whole thing. All right. So we're going to do a couple of things. One, we're going to drag this out. I am going to actually pull up my dictionary on Google Drive. Grab this and pull it over so you guys can see it. Let's go to design, dictionary. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to, do I have hint already as a word? See, I know I have hit. So no, I don't have hint. All right, let's go ahead and say insert one above. Hint. This is a command. And the command type is going to be hint. I'm honestly not sure how else I could present that. Oh, dang it, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to have Nightbot be set up. Aha, now it's there. So, oh, by the way, I apologize in advance because I feel like today is going to be another one of those dev streams where I do a lot of humming and hawing while I try to figure things out. I kind of just think out loud. So, we have hint command, and its command is going to be hint. Let me look for command type. All right. Do I have a hint already set up? Oh, good, I do. And I might also have some other things set up. Let's see, clear jump. Do I not have? Okay, I'm gonna add a score hint while we're in here because this is something some other people tried to do at PopCon, and it would probably be good to have a quote-unquote score. So let's go ahead and come down here to score, make that 65. All right, so fairly minor change there. And actually, while we're in the dictionary, I will come up here, or come down here, and we're going to add one for score. SCOR. All right, so one above, score, command, score. All right. So what score would basically do is just tell you how many treasures you've collected, and maybe report on words and sentences total. So nothing too crazy. Maybe show you your time as well. All right. So that's probably enough for me to actually download this stuff. So let's see. We're going to do custom, do everything but notes, replace existing files. For string values, export cell arrays, export sheet arrays, and there we go. Okay. Now we can download our dictionary again, and we'll have the new score and hint words in there. Oh boy, so this is going to be, oh man, we might have like 3 different systems converging right now. So we have hints that are based on levels, and then we have examining the environment based on level zones. And then we have scores that are just something completely different. So let me download this real quick. And actually, before I do that, I need to open up data, dictionary. Curse you, compiler. One of these days. And dictionary. There we are. Show and Explorer. I'm just going to drag it in and replace it. We should be fine after that. Down here. Show and folder. Ah, don't need that. All right. So that should have our 2 new words in it. Now we can update our dictionary. Yep, we got 2 new words. And we have a log down here now that tells us what we updated. So we got hint and score in there. Let's just go ahead and check real quick. Make sure that hint got set up properly. Oh wow, it's so big that it actually causes lag when I scroll now. Probably great. Okay, it's command. That's good. So only 600. I guess really large arrays probably are not serialized very well in Unity. All right, so we have everything set up basically to do it, but now we need to handle our command parsing. So we have command, there's a thing I have for this, parser commands, here we are. Save, help, okay, so we're going to say case, command type dot hint, break, and oh boy, this is going to be where it gets kind of tough. We're going to say parser dot output result level manager dot current level dot get hint. Okay, that might help us. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and while I'm in here, I'm also just going to do case command type dot score. While I'm in here, not going to do anything super crazy here. I don't think so. So we're going to say string builder. Oh, okay. System.text.string builder. Output is equal to new system.text string builder, and then we're just going to say at the end of this parser.output result output dot to string. Ta-da. All right, and then we're basically going to make a quick score sort of setup right here. For now, I think it's just going to show you how many words and sentences you've typed. So we're just going to say output dot append. You know, I probably could make this one big string from concatenation, but it's fine for now. So I'm going to say words. Oh, I need a string here. So we'll say words. Should I spell words spoken or just words? Words colon like that. Maybe just words typed. Words typed. Oh, no, words used. Used. There we go. And then we're going to add a value to that, which is going to be, I believe, session dot get int. This is going to be interesting. Session utility dot word count. There we go. And then I suppose a default value should probably be there, but I don't think that would really have a default value. It's probably going to be used by the time the player types it. All right, and then we're going to have sentences used int underscore sentence count. Okay, so now we can test the score stuff out real quick. That should take us. Hold up. Do you code this? Do I code this by myself? Yeah, I do. I have written everything. I do everything on this project by myself. I do all the art, programming, design, sound. All right, so we're gonna try this. I have no idea how well this will go, but I have high hopes. So let's score. Oh crap! I forgot my new line character. Well, that's it works. Not quite what I meant, but and now we're gonna do this. Oh, yeah, that's not bad. That worked out beautifully. All right. It's nice when I have a whole system in place that I just didn't use. All right. But yeah, I do code it all by myself, Anthony. I actually don't remember if I have a command that tells people that. Oh well. All right, so let's test out the new score thing real quick, and then we'll move on to sort of stress testing our hint system. I do know that hints are included in compiling, so I can't select anything. Hints are included in the level manager class, like they're just part of the base class, and that's what these things are. They're kind of wonky. So thrown torches. Oh man, I don't remember thrown torches. I don't think it's a thing anymore. So give me a second. Come over here to data. Collection items? Yeah, data IDs. Here we are. I'm gonna go to castle. I guess I do have thrown torches. Right. I remember why. Oh yeah, that's something I need to do still. So the thrown torches check there is because you're supposed to be able to basically, so in the throne room, I'll go ahead and play just to show you. There are torches along the carpet leading up to the king, and I wanted to allow the player to interact with the torches. So I completely forgot about that. So it would just do a check, and you could actually come up here to all of the torches and put them out yourself if you wanted to. So if you did that, let me see if I can do hint here. Yeah, it's probably just going to say that all the time now. So if you put out not if you didn't put out any of the torches, it would say there's a bunch of torches roaring. If you put out a couple of the torches, it would say some of the torches are out, and then if you put out all of the torches, then it would say all of the torches are out. But I never got around to actually making these things interactable. So hooray, that's another thing I need to do. Oh man, I really should structure myself a little bit better. I tend to not keep track of tasks very well. I kind of meander, and that's probably why it's taken me 4 years. Hello, cool. How are you today? And yes, yarg. I haven't said that today, but I have made other sound effects, I guess. All right. So, so what should be happening here is the there doesn't seem to be anything interesting here. Hint is only supposed to show up if none of the other hints evaluate to be true. Um, so I'm not entirely sure why this criteria here is evaluating as false, because I haven't entered the throne room yet. So the type is bool, and the value expected is false. There's not a specific difficulty. You should be in the entrance hall. Huh. Okay. Um, well, let me check some things, I guess. Entered equals false. Oh, right. Hold on. So this zone should be in the throne room. So right. Okay. So here's where we. I am also tired, so I understand where you're coming from. Well, I don't remember what sound effects I did make. uh, I know I have that clicking sound that I do. I tend to do that a lot, and I've done that already this in this stream. Um, so here's where things are getting messy. The hint system originally was going to be the look system, and then it became the hint system, but I didn't get rid of the hint or the look stuff. So the criteria that's being shown here, so you can see various paintings dot the wall of this elegant hall. That's a look thing. That's not a hint thing. So currently my hints are not hints. They're the environment stuff that I've been talking about, which means that I actually need to come up with a completely different sort of system for hints. Although it's going to be very similar, I guess. Because the fundamental design of both of them is that you have it examines the session and checks a bunch of data, and depending on what data has been checked off at certain values, it will return a specific effect or a specific value. So 7:32 p.m. What about 7:32 p.m.? I mean, it's 7:34, or I guess it was 7:32 here. Um, okay. So, hooray. That means I'm going to rename some stuff real quick. Let's come up here to this. I'm going to rename get hint to get description. Which, okay. Show hint, go to definition. For each hint criteria, h in criteria, if h.criteria value is equal to false, return false. Okay, let me peek definition here. This type is bool. If session.get bool id.name does not equal bool value, return false. Okay. Oh boy. So much nesting stuff that's got to be unpacked here. So I'm going to rename this from get hint to get room description. All right. So now in hint, we should get room description instead. Except that's not actually what we want it to do. I have to write an entirely different system for hints, but we're not going to do that today. Today is about environment stuff. So So it's funny. I can access the environment descriptions through the hint system, but now I have to find a way to access that information through the regular parser. Ah, jeez, it's a mess. Uh, Although I guess I can figure out real quick why um, this isn't working. And I'm also going to convert this for each loop into a for loop. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than criteria dot count I plus plus. If criteria of I, oops, of I dot criteria value is equal to false, return false. Alright, so now I can get rid of this. I don't like for each loops. They make me nervous whenever I see them. Is there going to be Easter eggs? Oh, there's definitely going to be Easter eggs. I think I already have a few Easter eggs in there. I already got some 80s and 90s movie references and references to a bunch of old text-based adventure games and all that stuff. Yep, plenty of Easter eggs. In any case, so level hint info. And oh, and this is great. I actually have to change all of the hint stuff. Ah! I guess I don't actually have to change the hint stuff. They can just be called hints. Yeah, sorry. Whenever I work on a fairly large system like the hint system, I kind of tend to babble and groan a lot. Mostly because I start thinking about the use cases for it and what people are going to try to do, and then I just punch myself in the face. All right, so let's go to, let's see, hints level hint info, which is obviously not here. So let's go to definition, pull this over here. And just to make sure that I'm, oh, that's interesting. I have two separate classes here. Oh, right, hint and hint criteria. That's fair. All right, so this has a zone, and I want to make sure that I'm thinking about this right. This dot zone is equal to collection manager dot define level zone ID target zone. So it's not actually used. So that whole system kind of needs to be put in place, I guess. So let me go ahead and check down here. Level manager, get room description. If hints.showHint and level zone dot current zone ID is equal to hints of I dot zone. So current zone ID is just a static variable that I have because there can only ever be one active level zone. So I made it a static check for convenience purposes, mostly because there are some weird things that I had to do with level zones to get that text to actually function properly. Because if you crouch or stand from crouching, the collider that you're using actually gets rebuilt, and then that causes it to spam a bunch of stuff. If I didn't have a workaround for this, so I had to manually check if the level zone's current ID, so the current zone that's active, matched the zone you were in. Then you wouldn't respam the text to show up at the bottom of the screen. So that's what that static variable is there for. I try very hard not to have static variables like this, but sometimes I don't really know a better way. So this should help with the zoning issue. But I wonder why show hint is not coming out to be true. So if criteria value is equal to false, then we're going to return false. Otherwise, if everything evaluates to true, then we're going to return true. Oh, no problem, Anthony. I mean, I like questions. I like talking about the game, and I like interacting with people in chat. So feel free to ask whatever questions pop into your head. In any case, so let me finish these things real quick. Make sure that they're set up. Oops, and it's compiling, so I can't do anything right now. So you can see here is what I was talking about, where if you put out some of the torches, or if you put out none of the torches, you'll have torches roar with warm light God, that sounds very hard to say when you say it out loud. Oh, I guess it doesn't wrap. That's a shame. Okay. So I don't remember what all of that says. And then as you sort of put out the torches, it'll say a few of them are out, most of the torches are out, and all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and collapse these guys. This is going to be in the throne room, and this is also going to be in the throne room. All right. So we should basically have most of the hints that are here right now, or I guess the level descriptions that are here right now, should be false, except for this one, because this one should be true. If we have not entered the throne room and we are in the entrance hall, then we should see various paintings about the wall of this elegant hall. So let's see if that pops up. Is there more endings than one? So, did you ever play Castlevania 64? Or, I guess, several of the Castlevanias do this, actually. It's not something that I've seen very often. Um, but, oh, right. I'm going to cheat real quick, and I'm just going to say hint. Ah! There we go! So, it says various paintings dot the walls of this elegant hall. And that's pretty much it. Now, if we were to enter the throne room, which is actually not triggered as soon as you enter the throne room, it's triggered when the wizard shows up, then if we came back in here, it would say there's nothing of interest here. But fortunately, the doors seal after that, so it's not really a problem. Although we can test this right now, so let's do hint again. Ooh, dear. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, right, because the torches are probably 0 by default. In any case, let's fix some escaped JSON real quick. Or I could play it dangerously. I'm going to try just hitting update. I guarantee this is going to break things. Not bad. Okay, nothing really totally broke. Let's see. Yay! Although I probably shouldn't have spaces like that. But it did actually parse the new line characters correctly that time. In any case, yeah, sorry, I got a little distracted there. With Castlevania 64 and a couple of other Castlevania games, they have different difficulties, and I think you can play the game on easy or normal. And if you play the game on easy, then you get a different ending than if you played it on normal. And then even once you do all that, you have a couple of different criteria that you can do to get a slightly different ending on hard or on normal or hard. And getting the true ending is actually kind of challenging. So I have something like that, where you'll get slightly different endings on normal and Sierra mode, and then if you do something really extra, you'll get a special ending. I'm planning right now just for Sierra mode, but maybe I'll do something for normal mode as well there. Either way, it's not going to be like if you play on normal and you get to the end, it's going to be a really terrible ending. That's not going to be the case. It's just that the ending will be different on Sierra mode than it would be in normal mode. So yeah, there is kind of different endings, but it's not like a moral choice Mass Effect situation where you make a bunch of quote unquote moral decisions and then you get a different outcome like based on that or something similar to that. All right, so let me go ahead and set up these zones real quick. I'm not entirely sure why this is not actually set up properly. So let's come over here to, let's see, heat map IDs, environment descriptions. I think, is that under hints? It is. All right. So let's come down here. We have throne room, hall. What are our options? It's entrance hall and throne room. Oh, I bet they are. Okay, yeah, hold on. Let me come back here to collections and then level zone IDs. This will help with this. Okay, yeah, so they're just using the wrong values here. Grab that. Entrance hall. Throne room. That's interesting. Oh, because I just made it equal. Ah, oh, that works. So that should fix that problem. Oh, cool. I commented these. All right. So let's go ahead and get rid of these double new line characters. That should fix this. What is going on here? The throne room is entered and the criteria value is false, but you're in the throne room. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. So let me just go ahead and get rid of the double new line stuff here. Okay. So I should be able to download this. I don't actually remember if environment descriptions is a CSV or if I made it. Okay, so it's JSON. That is definitely JSON. Oh, right, I remember. I don't know why I did it this way. Probably because it was meant to be a global hint system. But I think I'm going to change that. So let's go to add-ons, open sidebar. We're going to go to current sheet only, replace existing files. Do I want to force string values? No. I don't think I need to do that. Export cell arrays, yes. Sheet arrays, yes. And I don't need this. So I'm going to visualize this first just to make sure. But yeah, I do want to have different endings just to reward people who explore very thoroughly. So can you die in the game? Yes. You can die if you get eaten by grues, or if you jump off of a really, really high spot and hit the ground. Then you can die from fall damage. But those are really the only two ways. In Sierra mode, there are more ways to die than there are in normal mode. So in normal mode, when you lose in combat, you'll just kind of flee automatically. In Sierra mode, it's not actually implemented right now because it was a little buggy. In Sierra mode, when you lose in combat, you'll just die. So you would have to load a save point when you lose combat in Sierra mode. But in normal mode, I'm not going to be that punishing for losing a fight. Although maybe I should. I don't know. That's something I'll have to play test. But yeah, since it's an adventure game, one of the big like cardinal sins in adventure games is dying. Because if the entire point of the game is to interact with everything and try everything on everything, it's very unfair to just kill the player without very obvious warnings that they'll die. Oh, right, which reminds me, actually, there are other ways to die by interacting with objects, but it's very obvious that if you keep, and you have to do something multiple times to an object, like punching something, and if you keep doing that, then it will eventually kill you, but it's very blatant that it's going to do so. There's a, I'm not going to tell you where it is because I would like people to find it on their own, but there's a thing you can interact with somewhere in the overworld, and if you punch it, it will give you a weird response saying like that's weird. Why did this happen? And then if you punch it again, or if you hit it again in any way, it's gonna say something else. And then the final line there is gonna say it says you probably shouldn't hit this thing again. And then if you punch the thing again, it'll kill you. So in any case, so this all looks good. Yeah, we have escaped new line characters. Everything seems fine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and export this. I think this will actually append a sheet name onto it. Yep, right there. All right. Let's go ahead and download this. Yeah, I completely forgot about that interaction until I was just thinking about that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I put in really early on in the game's development that I've completely forgotten about, but I remember really enjoying. So I'm actually really glad that I'm getting to the point where I can properly, um, oops, ah, where I can put that stuff back in essentially. All right, so let's grab the castle again. I'm going to drag this in. Hit update. Oh dear, that's not good. Great, of course something broke. What's different between these two? Should not be capturing when there's a hot control. I don't know what that. Okay. All right. Oh dear. Oh. What the heck? Why did? Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. So I did force it to be strings. Bah. Oops. And I clicked on Steam by accident. All right. So that means I just have to force string values in my JSON array. We should be good. Oh look, there you are. Huh. I wonder how I just didn't notice that. All right. So let's go ahead and download that again. Oh, and before I do that, let's get rid of the old one. Okay. Download. And okay, let's put everything. Oh right, wrong thing. Show an Explorer. Come over here. Downloads, and we'll drag this in. All right. So let's go ahead and try parsing that again. Okay, good. So it looks like everything parsed correctly now. So yeah, this is going to be tricky. Well, I guess actually it's not tricky. We know that it works. So let's go ahead and save. I'm just going to test out some of the stuff by using hint to cheat. All my systems are tangled together. Today's going to be a lot of detangling them, I think. So again, if we come up here and we type hint, it's going to give us the level description for this area. It says various paintings dot the walls of this elegant hall. That's good. And this is also where I get into some oddities with the examine system. So let's say that you enter this area for the first time and you type, imagine that I'm typing look, various paintings dot the walls of this elegant hall. You know, that's nice and that's true here. But should I also mention the armor, or what is eventually going to actually be over here? There's going to be another item that takes the place of the armor, sort of, because you wouldn't have directly seen that yet. But it's probably fine, I think. I don't think it's really that much of an issue if I state what's in the room, even if you haven't actually seen it and you can't physically look at it. Like if you looked for it here, I think it should still tell you everything about that. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. Let's do hints. Torches have been extinguished, causing cool darkness. Right. All that stuff. I actually don't. I don't remember if I don't think I have support for compound examinations, which is something that we're going to have to do. So currently it's an all or nothing approach. Basically, when you examine, it's going to give you a hint, but it probably, if it's, and also I apologize that it's going to be kind of confusing me referring to them as hints, but they're actually the environment descriptions. But what it probably should do is stack. So it would say the torches have all been extinguished. That's one sentence, and then the King of Serafin awaits your visit at the end of the hall. That would be another hint or another environmental description. So we're gonna have to break that out a little bit more, I think. Okay. In any case, you know what I keep forgetting to do is I keep forgetting to make sure that the score thing looks correct. Let me do that real quick. score. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that command words count as a word use. So I do look, and then I do score. Oh dear, score keeps being false. Okay. Then let me try this. Hold on. Parser commands. I might just have a session dot words. Oh, not core. Words. Yeah, okay. So that works. I'll just do that instead. Session dot words typed. Session dot sentences typed. All right. Okay. Oh man. All right. So I think the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get look to actually be look. So I'm not gonna type hint anymore. I'm gonna have to actually figure out how to look at the room. Um, so this is gonna be kind of interesting. So if I type score now, okay, come up here, look, score. There we go. All right. So okay. Let me think. How do I want to do this? Well, I think we're gonna have to. Oh boy. We're gonna have to change things, kind of. So, trying to think right now about how I want to retrieve the strings for hints. Um, and I'm not sure if I should stick them on the level zones themselves, or if I should, or if I should have them be in the level manager. Because currently they're in the level manager themselves, obviously, but I don't know if that's the best way to do it. Here, let me check something real quick. I go to item, which is again a terrible thing, so I'm going to go to interactable object. Oh, I'm sorry, interactive object. Interactive object. And then I'm going to find where it's referenced and go to item. So find all references, animation module, blah, 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 blah. There should be an item. Where are you? Book object. I will find you one of these days. Switch objects, torch, warp, item. Here we are. All right. So when an item is dropped, it makes a call to session to basically inform that an item has been dropped in the world, and we have to save its positioning. Because if we don't, then when you load up your game, it won't spawn that item back in, and then you could potentially be stuck. So, hello, the Jalmega. Welcome back. We are currently working on a examine system for the environment. So if you type look and you don't specify a noun, it's just going to look around the room that you're in and tell you a room description and then any items that stand out and all that. And the focus for tonight is probably going to be just getting the actual looking around part working. And we have a it's kind of fun because we have a hint system that already sort of exists, and it's kind of using that, but it's not really going to use that. So we have sort of two different systems tangled up right now that I'm trying to split apart. So we are doing that thing I just described. In any case, I'm going to look for remove from inventory. Here we are. Let's see if we're in a container or if we're here. We are cached inventory drop item, and that is what I want to do. Correct. If verb.items not count is equal to 0, the name is not in your inventory. Blah blah blah. Verb items not count. Cached inventory find item. Either way, I think it's just going to be a drop item situation. So let me go over here. Find item, drop point, get drop point, and remove item from inventory. Excuse me, had to sneeze. Go to definition. All right, got to remember, here we are, session.remove inventory item. So it's a lot of nested stuff. Oh, crap. Nope, that's not actually what I wanted. No. All right, drop item, go to definition. And remove item from inventory, go to definition. Okay. So if destroy, which we don't actually want to do. I don't remember where I set this, I guess. Here we are, add item coordinate. So add item coordinate does what I was explaining. It basically saves the item's position. That way when you drop an item, the save state knows where it is. So if you leave the room and come back, it'll still be there. So we go to get level info. Definition. Level values. Blah, blah, blah. Default level JSON. Let's see what that looks like. JSON containers coordinates. Jeez. The coordinates are what's kind of a little concerning. Let's go to level values ID, find all references. Actually, let me look at level data real quick. I'm going to drag session out because we're going to need this class. So go to definition here. JSON coordinates. And let's see, item coordinate. Go to definition. I believe this just has, the level and the position. It doesn't say what level zone that it's in, which becomes a huge pain. But we're not worrying about that right now, I guess. So I will go ahead and set up a public field for that. We're going to say public level zone ID level zone is equal to level zone ID dot none. We're going to have a to do here. Add reference to level zone. The item was dropped in. All right. So we're not going to worry about that for now. Again, we're going to just focus on getting the descriptions to show up. So for that, we're actually going to need to go to the parser. And this is where we get to some really fun functionality, because I can't, typically when you get a specific word that's a command, like save or hint or score, the parser looks for those specific words and then does something specific because they're commands. But I can't do that with look, because look is a regular verb that means examine, and most people want to examine the room just by typing examine, or examine room, or examine area. So I need to allow that without getting in the way of the fact that examine is just a verb, not a command word. Oy. Currently preparing to rewrite the code I already had for my engine. It was quite ugly. Yeah, well, I understand that. It's good luck though. It's always a rabbit hole when you refactor old code, as I'm sure we will find out this week for me, because a lot of the stuff that we're going to be working on kind of already exists, but is probably from a year and a half ago and just kind of hasn't been picked up. So let's see here. We're going to go back to, let's get rid of interactive object. I don't need that anymore. So we're going to go to parser, definition, drag this out, and we have to now do a special check for our verb. So this is great. Okay. So let me come up here. Do I have something special that I can do? No, not really. Indirect object, cache verb. Okay. So I'm going to say private static bool. Examine area is equal to false, I guess. Not super great on that name. The verb is of type examine, and there is no noun or cached subject. So examine the area. Oh man. Are you just refactoring everything in the engine, or are you only refactoring specific chunks of your engine? All right, so now we get a fun little check sort of situation here. So we're going to go to check homages, receive input. We want to go to validate verbs, I believe. No, actually, we're going to go all the way down to set direct object. Ha! This is going to be messy. Set joint words, check for obscenities, check commands, validate sentence, blah, 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 blah. If nouns is greater than 1, no, I don't think we really care about that. Yeah, if nouns is equal to 0, we don't break here. So, add a custom C++ vector, which was faster except for memory allocation. Structure vector. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, still sucks to have to refactor old code, but anyway. So let's see here, possible verbs. We're going to go down here to the very bottom where we've set everything. And if there is nothing. All right, so we're going to say here if sentence.verb does not equal null. Then we are going to say, I guess actually, and jeez, no. We don't need to do that validation here. We're actually going to do that in validate. Set determiner, set quantity. There are so many things that it has to go through. Set direction, set direct object adjectives, and set direct object. Here we are. Okay. Now, this is where it gets fun. Oh, I already handled drop or plural forms, so I can get rid of that. Aha. Direct object doesn't seem to be getting set to the object's word on second sentence. Okay, I'll leave that in there and I'll check that. If adjective only, we do not care about that. And output append, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to picture where I want to stick all of this. So I don't think we need to worry about the adjective only stuff. That's just if you're trying to specify a specific object between two different objects and it needs clarification. So if you say like drop key and you have a silver key and a rusty key, it'll actually which key you want. Older code that I've done this month, but probably only coded max 30 minutes every day because my grandmother died during the time. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, it kind of tends to put a damper on things. Alright, so let's... Direct object is equal to null. We're going to go just all the way down to the bottom, I think. inventory for direct object. We're basically doing all of the fun checks. Okay. Global interactions not find. And at the very end here, we're going to do setting direct object to first cached subject, blah, 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 blah. We're basically going to go to sentence.direct object count, blah, blah. Here we are. So we're going to say if the sentence.direct object is equal to null, but our verb is set to be examine, then we're going to do something specific there. So let's see here. What we're going to do, I think, is going to say if sentence.verb does not equal null and sentence.verb, is that a word? Yep. Dot verb type is equal to verb type dot examine. Then we're going to do something special. Else, on here. Excuse me. Don't know what that was. So what we're going to do here is if you don't, or if the sentence verb is not null and the sentence direct object is null and the sentence verb type is equal to examine, we're going to examine the environment basically. So we're going to do something similar to this. We're going to do all of our output results and stuff, and we're going to say, do I want to stop parser? Yes? Question mark. I'm actually a little worried about how this is going to handle nested sentences, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? So for now, I'm just going to have it break there and return, and then we're going to say output results, level manager, okay, level manager dot current level dot get, what is it? What did I call it? Get environment description. Get room description. There we go. Get room description. Okay. So I'll probably put a debug in here as well in case I need it. Debug log direct object not found. Examining room. All right. So let's just see if this works. So right now what should happen when I play and I type look, it should just give us the same thing as if I type hint, because our hint system is terrible right now and it's conflated with the with our examine system. So let's go ahead and play. Give this a shot. All right. Look. Dang it. Okay. So we didn't quite get that far. So let's look for what would you like to, and interesting. Hold on. It's all the way up here. Ah, okay. So this is, geez, how far up is this? Set multiple. It's in set multiple sentences. Really? That's interesting. Okay. Let me think. Maybe I should cheat here and have it use a global object reference. So I'm actually going to try something real quick. Let's see here. Where did I put that? I think it's on. Well, let me check real quick. So I have something called global interactions, and I don't remember how I set those. These are basically just interactions that you can always interact with, things like yourself. So you can type like eat self no matter where you are, and it'll give you an output for that. Here we are. Global. Okay, so it's just it's on global. That's what it is. Let's go to resources, global. Let's go to global interactions. All right. Right. Okay, so this is just a array of interactable objects. So we're going to make a special object for this. By default, these things are just regular interactable objects. Oh no, I guess they're items. Okay, no, never mind. Why is self an item? Huh, that's kind of odd. Well, all right. In any case, so we're going to add an interactive object that's the room, and it's going to dynamically change its description and its outputs based on where you are. So that's going to be fun. Let me find, where should I put this class? Base, interactive object, environment. Here we are. Folder, description, I guess. I don't know what else to call that. So we're going to call this room description, environment description, environment object. That is not super great, but I don't really know what else to call it. And all this script is going to do is it's just going to basically be a regular interactive object. So, oops, almost forgot. Text quest, capital T, interactive object. All right. But this is where it's going to get weird. Let's go to interactive object real quick. Because we don't really want to have to populate this. It should. Oh man, this is going to be really nuts. Jeez. So my original idea for this was to have a interactable object in the global interactions that would basically just change its descriptions when you examine it. But if it's in the interactable objects, the global interactions, then you could in theory do other things to it. So you could type hit room and it would try to hit the room. Jeez. That is problematic. Because I don't really think it's useful to come up with all of those unique interactions and try to set them on the object dynamically. So, dang it, that approach wouldn't really work very well. Let me think. How do I want to say this? Or how do I want to do this? I guess I could just leave it and not worry about it. Because I seriously doubt that people are going to say punch room. And if I get you can't do that back, I don't think that's a terrible thing. I might be able to come up with a better thing later on, but for now I don't think it's that bad of a thing. So let's go to check plurals, check adjectives, don't really care about that. I think the main thing that we want to do is just, oh right, the check key phrase thing, is, let's see, check phrase, check event. Well, let's go ahead and just make a empty game object. So we're going to test this. Where are we? Here we are. So we're going to call this environment. Well, we would if I could spell. All right. This is going to be an environment object. All right. Now. Oh boy. This is going to be fun. We are going to cheat a lot here. So I'm going to debug this so that I can set these values. We're going to go to examine. Examine. Success effect is going to be text only. Output type is going to be custom. And data value, whatever. We don't really care. So let's go back here. All right. debug again because I actually need to change some stuff. Outputs, we're going to add an output, and then we can go back from debug. Oh, man. Let's see. Randomize output, no. Reset on interact, no. Destroy after, nope. Output ID, none. Data value, don't care. Output section, prefab. No, we don't need one for that. No special checks here. We don't need those. Okay. So I think yeah, I think we'll pretty much be good just by setting up some quick names real quick. So we're going to type room, area. What else should I call it? What else would you say if you were going to say you were going to look around the area? So examine area, examine room. I don't want to say examine air. That kind of sounds silly. I guess room and area are the two ones that I would think of. Not that it really matters. Most people are probably just going to type look. They're not going to really think about typing look room, but just in case. So we're going to have rooms, plural, and then we're going to need an areas, plural. Areas, plural. Text color, ignoring groups. Yes, I believe I have to do that for all of my global interactions. Or at least I would think I would have to. I guess I don't. Not for the GRU. But he probably should be. Alright, let's see here. Interior, that's not bad. I'll put that up. Interior. Alright, I think that's probably decent. So we're going to have to change this a little bit. So let's go to, let's see, check phrase. I don't think we can't do anything with check phrase. So it's just going to be check verb. Do verb. Should I really care about do verb? Also, space after is not used anymore. I don't know why I still have that stuff in here. I probably could just cut it off straight at check verb. So I'm going to pull this in. Let's go over to environment object. We're going to override. All right. Let's get rid of this. Okay. So if verb.require counts, this is not going to be an issue for this. Okay, I guess we don't want that one. I guess we do want do verb. And let's go ahead and grab that. Replace all this fun stuff. All right, override. And let's see, we don't really care about anything here, pretty much. We don't care about redirect or add to inventory. We don't care about remove from inventory. We don't care about drop item. We don't care about combine items. I guess I will just straight up have it output what I'm looking for. So let's see here. Output result, verb, sentence. Okay. So let's just, I guess, go ahead and do this. New section settings. Right, yeah, we don't care about that. So we're going to say our output is just going to be straight up level manager.get. Oh, right. Current level.get room description. That would be my cat wanting attention. Yes, I see you, cat. And that might actually be all we have to do. So let's try hooking this up, I guess. I'm hopeful that that will work. I will be quite surprised if it does. But one good thing this month, got my driver's license. Well, that's fun. Now you can drive anywhere that you can, I guess, drive your car to. I don't know. I don't drive very much. I try to bike everywhere. course, I mean, work for me is 2 blocks away, so it's not really that much of a thing for me. I just don't have to drive very often. All right, so let's go ahead and add. Where are you? Global interactions. We're going to add the environment to that. All right. Let's try. We're going to try just saying look area or examine area and see what happens. Examine area. Dang it. I might not have a. I don't. I might not have these words. Okay, I got room. Examine room. Hooray! So that works. Right. So specifically examining the room will give you something useful, but probably typing examine without specifying something does not help you out at all. So let's go up here. Let's delete some stuff. Don't need that. Let's go back to the parser. And it was on set multiple sentences, I believe. Oh, right. Well, let's do this. Shoop. There we are. So it was right here. If output sentences of i.directObjects.count is equal to 0. Okay. So reset sentences, reset cache false, reset sentences false. Okay, let me think. Okay. So I think what's going to happen is instead of trying to output something down here in the direct object check, which should be here, right? Yeah. So instead of doing this here, we're actually going to do it up there, I guess. So let's go ahead and get this stuff down. Okay. So we're going to move back up to there. Okay. And we're going to say if cached verb is not equal null, we're going to put an if here, and else. All right. So we're not going to say, so it's going to be output sentences of I here instead of sentence. Right? Okay. False, false, and false. I forget what these things reset. I know that I have sort of different tiers of resetting that I can do. Resetting cache resets things like the cached verb and the cached subject. Reset sentences clears the sentences that are active, and then reset interactions gets rid of all interactions that you're currently doing right now. So it's probably fine if I just have it. Yeah, okay, here we go. What did I want to call it? I wanted to call, dang it, examine area equal to false. Okay, which I guess that's kind of a pointless thing to do. So let's just try this right now as it is, see if we can get something good out of that. I'm going to put a comment in there. I dislike driving. It's all right. It's much better than walking an entire sort of like 10 miles in a city, I can tell you that. But yeah, I mean, there's no real point to it unless you need to drive. So we're going to say if the verb is examine, is of type examine, and there is no noun, examine the room. Okay. I think that will work. Else, we're just going to say cache verb and ask about, not about sentence subject. There we go. So let's see if this works. I am hopeful, but I do not know for sure. All right. Well, one of the days, uh, compilation will complete. There we go. As soon as I start complaining about it. Yeah, cycling is healthier, I guess. Um, all right. So let's just type examine. Hooray! It works. So now if you just type look and you don't specify what, it will just use it'll just use the environment. And to make sure, yes. So if you're interacting with something and you type examine, it's going to examine that object. If you're not interacting with something and you type examine or look, it's going to examine the area around you. And if you say look room, there we go. All right, so we have the looking functionality working. Um, so now you can actually look around the environment and get specific text depending on where you are. So the next step for this would be to one, excuse me, set up. I'm going to actually mute the audio so we don't constantly hear that door open whenever I come in here. So we type look in here. We'll get the output for the throne room. I know that it says the torches are out. That's because it's checking something improperly, but all of that's in there. Hello, Ergwin? Ergwin. I want to say Ergwin, but I don't know. Either way, welcome to the Devstream. You will find out I'm terrible at saying people's names. I don't know why I have such trouble with it, but I do. So, all right. So we have our look functionality working. That's good. The next thing to do will be getting criteria in there, which is already kind of a thing. So you can see that it says the torches have all been extinguished. That's because it's checking for something that's not currently set up. But in theory, if it was properly set up, it would actually say the torches are roaring. So, okay. And we can actually look at that on the castle object itself. So if I come down here. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, the Jomega. Good luck refactoring. Good luck refactoring the engine. I know it's gonna be super fun. So hopefully it won't be terrible. Um, in any case, so you can see that we have different criteria here and different zones, so that you have to be in specific zones when you do examine to get specific outputs. Torches roar with warm light, lighting the path to the royal throne. So this first hint here would actually show up if all of the torches were set up properly, versus one that would show up if you had some of the torches put out, but not all of them. Then you would get a different output. In this case, we would get a few of the torches have been put out. Not entirely sure why my UI is stretching so far to the right. Probably just means that I have a nested object that's not quite working the way it should. I gotta sneeze. Oh, nope. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm sneezing so much tonight. In any case, so how do we want to do this? Well, let's change some stuff real quick. I'm gonna come up here to our environment description. So this is going to be the JSON or the spreadsheet that we base everything off of, and every level is going to have this default thing that says there doesn't seem to be anything interesting here. That's if all of the other criteria fail, or if you're not in a zone for some reason, then it will give you just a regular default output. But we need to come up with an output that doesn't require criteria, but still has a zone. So actually, that might already be possible. I don't think I have to do anything extra for that. Let me try real quick. No, of course I don't have an add. Oh no, I do right here. Hint. Let's see here. When I remove criteria. Okay, that was weird. Oh, right, it gets named default if it's got no criterias. Ah! Well, that's custom editor scripting at its finest. Um, all right. Let me. I'm going to do some tests real quick. So we're going to change this to our entrance hall. We're going to change the criteria for the first one here to be true. And we will go ahead and try this. All right. So now if we type look, there we go. Because the first criteria's value is not evaluating to true. So it's going to use the first one, which is going to be default for the level zone. Okay, so hooray, I don't have to do anything extra there. But I probably should have certain criteria set up for this. All right, let me check something real quick. Ah, sorry. I'm probably getting sick. Hooray. Um, all right, so we're going to go back to our spreadsheet here. I'm going to set my difficulty to none and my zone to none, just so I don't get spammed with that. Let's see, don't care about anything else. So, right. No criteria, no criteria type, no criteria comparison. No, okay, so all this stuff should be fine. We are going to, before we do that, I'm going to go to our level manager, editor, and let's see here. We are going to draw hints. Hints. Go to definition. Hints. Update. GUI enabled. Clear. And horizontal draw hints. Here we are. Go to definition. And there. So our label is going to be default if there is no criteria, or are no criteria, basically. Is no criteria? Are no criteria? I would want to say no criterias, but criteria is the plural of criteria. In any case, so what I probably should do here is say label is equal to default, but not just that. We need to say, let's see, so we have a hint serialized property. So we're going to say hint dot find property relative dot string value is equal to, I guess I should do this, level zone ID dot none dot name question mark default otherwise default something. So this is going to be a level hint info, I believe, which means that we're going to be looking for zone here. So we're going to say zone, except I actually have to say find property relative name. There we go. And then we're going to say default plus then hint dot find property relative zone dot find property relative name dot string value. Okay. Let's take a look at that, see if that actually works properly. So what should happen here is the second default down here should become default entrance hall, if we're lucky. Ah, there we go. So this would basically be the sort of the criteria if everything else is false and you're in the entrance hall, then you'll get this message. So having this default dash then the zone Makes it very nice shorthand for there's no criteria. It's just if you examine and you're in this area and everything else is false, you're going to get this. So that makes it a little bit easier for me. Let's go ahead and change some of this. So uh, this system is a little weird when you look at it in spreadsheet form. Which, oh boy, hold on to your hats. We're going to do spreadsheets. Most exciting thing of in-game development. Um, so the way this works is each one of these rows is not actually a hint. Instead, it's the criteria for a hint. And what happens is it uses this hint ID at the front of them to basically match them up so that they get grouped under one hint. That's why you can see that certain hints have multiple criteria, while others only have one, because they only needed the one, and they only had the one hint ID specified. Oops, don't want that. All right, so what can we do for this? I guess we don't really care about the spreadsheet stuff for now. I'm not entirely sure why these are grayed out and other ones are not. Weird. In any case. Oh right, I remember. So the structure of this, I really should have notes for myself in some of these because I think this was last edited a long time ago. In any case, so the way this works is the white lines are the first criteria for each array, or for each criteria, or for each hint. I can't talk tonight. And then the gray ones are just the ones that come below them, basically. That's why they're set to be equal to whatever is above them, because they're just literally doing the same thing. Okay, so how do we want to specify this? I guess the next thing to do, now that we have examining the area functioning, we should probably start working on level zone item placement. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Okay. So how do I want to do this? So I brought this up at the beginning of the stream. We only want to describe items in a room if they are actually in that room. So to show you what I mean, let me go ahead and play for a little bit. I'm gonna have to play through a decent amount of the level before we can actually get to an item that I can use. That will change, by the way. I'm actually going to place an item right here in the main hallway that you'll be able to use in the future. All right, and I might as well turn on the audio for this, because why not? All right, that reminds me. While this is going on, I contacted Unity about my Mac crash. So for some reason, timelines on Mac will just crash applications for no reason. I mean, I looked at the log and there is actually a reason, but it's something with Unity itself. It's not something that I did. I submitted that as a bug, and I guess it's been fixed in Unity 2017.2. But that actually does not offer me very much solace, because that means that I have to update to a beta version of Unity for the next convention that I go to in a week and a half. So I'm a little nervous about that. I will probably end up testing that update out at the end of this week. And if I can't fix that, or if I can't update for some reason, I'm actually not sure what I'm going to do. In any case, so we're going to take this note. And now what we're trying to do now is when I say drop note, you can see that the note has now been dropped. So what should happen is we need to let the note know that it is in the drawing room. And I don't know if I want to really go nuts and have it be on the table or on the floor. So the description might just read more like there is a note nearby, or you see a note, or something like that. So when you examine a room that has a bunch of items dropped in it, it would basically give you the description for the room, and then below that, it would say you see a X, a Y, um, whatever. Oh god, I'm gonna have to get into quantities, aren't I? So if you have like 2 apples and you drop the apples, it should probably say you see 2 apples. Yeah, that's gonna be just so much, so complicated. Um, so we're gonna get, I think we're gonna get just basic item detection working for now. Um, and actually, before I forget, let's go ahead and say, no, it's fine. I'll leave it in here mostly because I'm curious to see what ends up happening. So let's go ahead and, all right, level manager editor. Nope, that's fine for now. We want to go to session, and here we go. Get level info. Level data. References. Oh, I guess I actually need to find all references here and say container contents, set level container info. We don't care about that. Nope, don't care about that. Don't care about you. Data, nope, nope, nope. Here we go. Add item coordinate. Okay. So, core dot position is equal to level. What is level? Level, I think, is just the active level. I guess, actually, this isn't too bad. I think I can just do this. Core dot level zone is equal to level zone ID dot current. Oh, right. Hold on. Level zone dot current zone ID. There we go. Although I do need to go to level zone real quick. Go to definition, because from JSON and to JSON, I need to actually set those values. So let's go here. Go to definition. So we're going to say chord level public const string chord level zone is equal to level dash zone. All right, let's find the references. Go down to here. This dot level zone is equal to JSON dot get string value session utility dot chord underscore level zone. Okay, dot to enum. Oh, that's gonna be tough. It's not an enum. Okay. The default string value is going to be level zone ID dot none. So we're going to say, I gotta remember how to do this. It's been a long time since I've had to parse out that stuff. Let me go to item, and from JSON down here, should be able to see how I was doing that. I think it's collection manager and then or data ID, and then we just get it. So let's go to unequip reset object from JSON. Here we are. Here we are, collection manager. Yep. I'm gonna grab that. Bring that back over here. So this is going to be level zone ID. Get rid of this. Okay. Name. All right. That should handle loading it from JSON. Now we need to save it out to JSON. So we're going to say json.add session utility dot chord underscore level zone level dot zone. Oh, sorry. Level zone dot name. All right. Let's see. What else do I want to do? now, I guess. So let me go to session real quick. We're going to go to save session. Actually, did I? No, I didn't. I really should change that a little bit, but it's fine. So I'm going to change this real quick. And we're going to write some save files that are not encrypted. So they're just going to be regular text files. And that way we can look at them in Notepad++ and make sure that they look correct. All right. So once that works, then I will probably, I guess, should I just make this a convenience class? No, I probably shouldn't do that. So real quick, let me come down to load session. It's gonna go nuts if I'm not careful. There we are. Okay. Let's go ahead and save that. I am going to, let's see, dictionary. I'm going to go to my build, TextQuest, saves. We're going to get rid of all of our save stuff. That way we can just start with a fresh save file. And I don't have to worry about it. If I try to read an encrypted file via a non-encrypted method, it will just be garble, and then my parser won't know what to do with it. Well, my save state parser won't know what to do with it, which can break things. So by doing it this way, it makes sure that I'm safe. So okay, yeah, we're gonna have to go all the way back through and drop an item again. So let's go ahead and open. Watch our quick little cutscene again. Oh yeah, and this is something else that I'm going to have to do. So if you type look when this is going on. Oh, that's interesting. It broke. Why did it break? That's interesting. Well, we have a mystery on our hands, gang. I'm going to have to look at that in a second. Let's see here. So I'm going to do take. Phooey. I just realized that when I play from the scene, I'm not gonna have a save state, so I won't be able to load back in to make sure it's correct. I guess it doesn't matter. I can still drop it to see if it. Note. Save. Okay. So let's go ahead and pause. We're gonna take a look at our saves, and then take a look at this. All right, I forgot that I did that. All the teeny tiny images that it saves so that you can see what you were doing last. In any case, so let's see here. Strings, levels, containers, coordinates. Okay, so it did correctly save out the levels known. That's good. No, that's not good. I lied. Hold on. Let me make sure that I'm not crazy. I'm going to take this back. Let's open this. And I'm going to spoil the puzzle. Open, pull. I think I need to transition to the sewers for it to properly set the stage ID, I guess. It seems like the level ID is set to none currently, which might just be an oversight in starting directly from the scene. So let's see if this will work. Start. Now we're going to do drop note. I'll save. Okay. Now let's take a look at it. That's just going to be there forever. Again, I don't think that's really an issue. Um, because I think that this only happened since I played directly in the scene, not from the start. So you can see here that it's correct. So we saw, yep, our level zone is secret passage. Okay. So the trick here is going to be a couple of things. So I'm going to need to check session when you drop an item into into an area. Okay. So let's go up to parser, or I guess actually it would be level manager get room description. Hints dot hints. And oh dear. Let me think. Okay, let me go to session real quick. We're gonna go all the way up to the top, and we're gonna look at our, let's see, session. Oh, really? Oh, good. It's all stored in JSON. Because that's what I love to see. No, it's not. Where's level data stored here? Find all references. Get level info, set level container info. No. Hold on. Level values, I guess is, there it is. Okay, I just skipped over it for some reason. Okay. So I suppose we'll need to loop through the level values, get the current level, then get the current zone that you're in. Would that work? No, that wouldn't work. So we just need to get the level data from the current level you're in and any items that are in the current zone that you're shared in. Okay. I think I got it. So let's go over here to level manager real quick. We're going to get room description, find all references, string output. That is the environment. So I guess I'll just put it in here for now. Keyboard. Okay, so this is actually not going to be as straightforward as we would think. Instead, we're going to say string builder. Okay, yep. So we're going to say system.text string builder hint is equal to new. Oh, come on. There we go. It's going to return this hint as the basis for this string builder, and we'll return hint dot to string. All right. So the next thing we need to do is actually add all of those item descriptions. So I think for now I'm going to kind of fudge it and just do this. List item. Oh, jeez. Give me a second here. So I can get the item ID. So, oh man, this is going to be kind of tough. Let me check something real quick. So on session, I'm going to go through all of our level values. Let me see what I do here. I know that I spawn things in. Let's see, so it should probably be under load session. Here we go. Now it's probably closer to level manager. On menu load complete. Coords. Here we are. Coordinates, spawn item, coords. Do I keep track of this item? Nope. Of course not. Oh, jeez. Okay, so that means I need to track all of the spawned items that are created from session drops. Hooray. So we're going to say list item ID, I guess. List item ID. Items is equal to new list item ID. And then we're going to say for int I is equal to 0, I is less than. It's just, yeah, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. List item coordinate chords is equal to this. Is less than chords dot count I plus plus. There we are. Oh, okay, I is already being used. So we're going to say J, and J. And then we're going to say, we want to get only the items that are in the same level zone as the player. So we're going to say if chords of J dot level zone is equal to level zone dot current zone ID. Then we'll, I guess I don't need two braces there. I can just say items dot add chords I dot ID. Okay. And then at the very end here, we're going to say for int J is equal to 0, J is less than items dot length, or dot count, sorry, J plus plus. So we're just going to say, I think we're going to say a simple output here, which is if items dot count is greater than 0. So it's going to say UC or UC colon, then a new line, and that's just going to list a bunch of stuff. So we're going to say hint dot append UC colon new line. I think we also need a new line here. And then we're going to just say hint dot append. Let's see, a space plus, it's going to end with a new line character. Then we'll say items of J. I guess we can probably say, we'll say dot toString. Actually, can I just say dot name? I can. There we go. And that should be good, I think. We'll also say if J is less than items dot count minus 1. Hint dot. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about that for now. I was gonna do commas, but I'm not too worried about that. So, oh, and I didn't stop playing. So of course that's gonna cause problems. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to do with this? So basically, the structure now. God, I really need to rename it because they're not hints anymore. The structure now is going to be the level description, then a new line, UC, new line, and then it's just going to be a bunch of different objects, basically. Oh man, I don't remember what I had for that. Let me think. Go to the parser real quick. I don't see. I have a function that checks for a or an specifically. Although it looks like I'm not using it in some spots. Huh. That's kind of annoying. My own parser doesn't do it. Well, I'm not too worried about it for now, I guess. So let's go ahead and just save. And we will test this out. All right. Does it not need to compile? Really? All right. Well, let's give this a shot. So we should be able to get a level description in addition to a list of dropped items. And I am going to just gonna skip our wizard cutscene. Let's go to hero. There we go. All right. Take that. And I know that it's not going to work unless we go down to the sewer, because I played directly from the scene. All right. All right. So, pretty confident with what we're going to get. But watch it just be horrible. Drop. Okay. So, now we do examine room. And it broke. Interesting though, it didn't throw an error. We just got nothing back. I mean, it's not stuck in a while loop, so that's... Oh, dang it! Right. I know what happened. I'm willing to bet that sewers does not have its hints set up. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. So let me just take that real quick. We're gonna go back upstairs and drop it. That'll fix it. Oh, I guess we gotta wait. And broken materials, or broken global illumination, anyway. Love it. All right, so drop note. All right, so now let's try examine room. Ah, dang it! Really? Great. So it just breaks. Huh? Why does it break? That shouldn't. Huh. Let's see. I mean, it's the castle. I know that it has hints set up. Interesting. Why would it? I guess I can check our saves. Let's see. What was the most recent one? Looks like this one. Huh. Oh, right. No, that's the save file. It's not necessarily going to be up to date. Well, this is quite the conundrum. Okay, I'm going to stop playing. Let's... That's weird. Let's just throw some debugs in here. Debug.log hints.toString. So we'll at the very least be able to see the original hint value. I mean, these are for loops, so we can't get stuck in something again. Yeah, j++ j is less than chords not count. J equals 0, j is less than 9, not count. Yeah, weird. Okay. And it's not a, like, eternal loop because the game didn't freeze, so not too sure what's going on there. I am going to move the test spawn into that room, though, so I don't have to worry about it. This is really weird. And that's the best kind of problem, the one that doesn't throw errors but isn't working correctly. I love it when that happens. All right, let's just go ahead and push this back a little bit and rotate it 180 degrees. Yep, there we go. All right, save this. And now we can try this. Take. I'm going to examine the room here. Okay. I'm going to open this up. Go to the sewers and back, and then I'm not going to try to. Interesting. There we go. We got an error. Huh? What the heck? So it's trying to... Okay, hold on. What happened here? We just straight up got a error for some reason. Okay. Let's see, output.replace variables to check. Is output null? Okay, that's weird. It should be an empty string. Okay, so let's stop playing. Give this a check here. I'm just gonna go ahead and say debug.log output.is null or empty. Huh. That's super weird. Let's go ahead and close that. Huh. Interesting. Okay, let's try this again. It's weird that we got one thing working, or we got one response that was normal and expected, but then we got nothing. It's very strange. So if I type examine now, I don't seem to be anything interesting. Take examine. Okay. Open poll. What happened? What? How? What happened here? Okay. Well, I'm glad we have stack tracing. So let's see. Format output result. That's impossible. Parser. Okay. So I guess we want parser 446. 446. If UI.get input view. That's interesting. 446, it tried to output a generic result? That only gets called in situations where it needs to do so. Okay, well this is odd. Do they go through the same spot? I mean, I guess it would have to. So 422 before that. 422. Okay, yeah, no, that's just setting the output stuff. Set multiple sentences. 557. Okay, 557. 557. Current level. Get room description. Can this even go to definition? Oh, okay. Okay. What? The only way that it should be able to get there is if hints is empty, basically. But or if one of the hints evaluated to false. But or I'm sorry, if all of the hints evaluated to false. But that should physically be impossible because we have this one default. There is no criteria. Oh wait, no. No. Okay, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try playing it, and I'm just gonna go straight into the bedroom, and we're gonna see if we even get anything in that room at all. Because it's weird that we weren't getting a problem in here, but we were in here. So let's do examine. Interesting. That breaks everything. Come up here. Now it's broken. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Yeah. I'm guessing it's the current zone ID thing then. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, I got it. So when you spawn in, wait, no, it should. No, I got it. Okay. When you spawn in, it checks the spawn point. So you tell each spawn point tells the spawner what zone it's in. And in this case, since it's a test spawn point, I don't have it spawning on anything. So its surrounding zone is none, which means that when it looks through the hints, it sees that it's none, which matches this first one, which means that as soon as we transition, it's going to get set to something that's not none, and then when we go back, it would break. So if I went into the bedroom and then back, it'll be broken. But if I type it right away, it'll be fine. So I just need to have a check for that. So I'm going to say examine, see, works, open, open, go in here, go back here, examine. There we go. Okay, that's it. So I think what I'm going to do, if nothing else works, then I'm just going to return hints of 0 dot hint. Because it really should be impossible for it to even really get to this point once everything's set up properly, but for now it kind of is broken. So I'm going to say in here, or chords. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. That's not the right thing. Here we are. Wait, no. Ah, here we are. So we're actually going to wrap this in parentheses. And we're going to say or level zone dot, oh, I'm sorry, or hints of I dot zone is equal to, oops, level zone ID dot none. So it will basically evaluate true if its zone is none or if it matches. That should allow the first one through, so everything should be correct now. That should fix our little problem. And then we'll actually be able to test this. All right. So let's go ahead and play. We'll test this out. Come up here. Take. So we're going to say examine. I can't spell. Room. Okay. We'll open the door. Let's do examine. Hooray! Let's go back just to be sure. Yay, we got it. All right. So now we can open. We have to go back to the sewers and then come back up to test everything properly. And then we'll know if our items are correct. Let's do start. All right, right back up. Right back up to my broken global illumination. All right, start. It's madness. It's maddening. I don't have any idea what causes this bug. All right. And I guess to test things, I'm going to take the scepter here. All right. So now I have two different things. I'm going to go ahead and say drop note, drop staff. Okay. Now we're going to do examine. Okay. Huh. But, okay. Let me. What is happening here? Why did it? Ah! What happened? I think it. Oh, it must have cached it. Okay, so that's problematic, I guess. That's weird. I don't know why it would do that. In any case, let's see here. So we're gonna say. I'm gonna go to my save files real quick, and we want this one. I have. Yeah, there's only one invoice. Why did it give me two invoices? Let's see. Less than items.count, hint.append, items. Or items of j.name. That. Huh. That's weird. That we just got two invoices. Huh. Okay. Well, let's do some quick fixes and tests. So first things first, I guess I can probably get rid of that debug check that I had going on and that I have no idea where it is now. And second, we are going to go ahead and debug. Ah, I lost my spot. Ah, here we are. I'm going to go ahead and debug this value. So debug.log items of j.name. Okay. And now we should be able to, oh right, before I forget. So we're going to go to parser. Here we are. We are going to clear things here. So I'm going to reset the cache, I think. On this, I want to say true. Do I care about anything else? Not really. So I might as well do true. Okay, so I'm going to reset the cache and sentences whenever I output and examine room. I might end up changing the resetting sentences part, but we'll see. See what this looks like. Oh, and you know what? Actually, while I'm in here, let me go to level manager. I'm going to scroll all the way down here to start. All the way down. Here we are. Menu load complete. Let me pick this up. Where does the sessions level get set? Maybe all the way up here at the top. I don't remember, honestly. Oh, it just manually does that, because of course it does. Ugh, gross, really. Alright, let me see where this gets set. Let's see, level IDs, get session string. Get session string. Ah, here we are. Autosave level. Ah. Should I just have it autosave level then on start? Yes? Let me see. This is on level load complete. If autosave. Let me find out where this is. Find all references. Ah, right. So okay. Well, not super great. I guess I can still set the session stuff though. So let me go to session. All references. Let me get this again real quick. Set session string. Spawn player position. Okay, I can still do all of that even though I'm not actually saving anything. So let's go back to level manager, which is where I am. Aha. Let's come down here, and I'm just going to say that, I guess. Actually, you know what, I might do that. There we go. So that way I don't hopefully have to go all the way down to the sewer just to test this out. We will find out if I am that lucky or not. It's just all caps there, huh? Okay. Let's go back here. Let's test this out. So now I should be, in theory, able to just drop the wow, I can't speak words. I should just be able to drop the note and have it be in the correct spot, according to my save system. So let's go ahead and try that. Take and drop. Oh, drop note. And then we're going to save. And then, now that we've saved, I'm going to go down to saves. Let's see. 925. Hooray! So now I should just be able to immediately test it. So if I say examine room. Aha! Okay. So that works. And if I examine room here. Ha ha ha! Yes! Alright. So we have contextual room checking for item drops working. Let's open and take all. All right, so now if I drop staff, and then I say examine. Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to save again. That will update all of this information. Right there. Am I doing something silly? 9 times out of 10 I am. So let's check our... Oh, right, I can get rid of this thing too. That's what I was talking about. Boop. All right, invoice, huh? Why on earth do I have something else called items? I might. I do, right there. But that shouldn't matter because this should be local scope variable. Huh. I don't... Huh. Okay, this is super weird. If the current level zone ID is equal to none, maybe they're not properly getting set? Yeah, let me test this, I guess. So I'm gonna put in a bracket here. We're gonna say debug.log. Oops. Debug.log. And then we're gonna say I guess we'll say current level zone dot current zone ID dot name plus separator plus chords dot ID. No, I'm sorry, chords of I. Wait. Ah, there we go. It's that. It's that. It was me being silly. I hate when I have to use nested for loops because I always get confused. It's almost instinctual for me to type I. So whenever I see I just assume it's correct, but it needed to be J. Okay, that explains it. It was always going to add the first chord or the first thing. So, all right, let's try that again. Ugh. Man. All right. Okay. Now we can test. We should be able to get it to function. At least I'm hopeful. But I'm always hopeful. All right. So we're going to do take, open, drop, examine. Oh, right. Drop, note, examine. Oh, right. It's still interacting with it, so examine. Okay. You see note. Oh, not take. Open. Take all. All right. Let's go ahead and say drop staff. All right. So now if I say examine. Ah! And obviously this is not correct, the whole underscore stuff. But we're not in the final version of this. We're not going to use the item IDs. We're going to actually use the item names. But for now, I didn't want to really mess with it. So let's go ahead and say examine in here. Uh-oh. That's not good. Let's save and take a look at our save files. So we want this one. Coordinates are set to none. Oh, right. That makes sense. So let me take this and then drop it back in here. Drop note. Right. It's because the spawn zone was set to be none for its level zone, so that's why. So now if I type examine, it'll work. And then if I go in and go back in, it should say, yep, there we go. All right, so let's take this, and we're going to drop it in this room as well. So drop note. Okay. Then we're going to say examine. Aha! Uh, so yes, so that works. I am going to do some quick formatting, as well as, I guess, pet my cat, because she wants attention, and she is spoiled. Let's see here. Get rid of this test. I don't think I need this anymore. All right, and so we know this is working. Get rid of this, and I'm going to actually add some spaces. 4 should be fine. Probably 2 actually, just to give the items a little bit of an indent. Typically, what I try to do with outputs that have a list is when you have a list being shown, I'd like to indent the elements of the list to make it easier to notice. So when I pick up the note and the staff, I'll show you what the inventory looks like. You'll notice that the items are spaced over a little bit. So let's go ahead and play. All right, so we're going to take the note, open this, open, take all. So you can see that invoice and scepter are indented to just make it a little bit easier to see them. All right, so now if I actually think I can drop all. Yeah, I can't do that. So I can drop individual notes and stuff. Drop staff. All right, so now if we do examine, there we go. Maybe I only need 1 space. I think 2 spaces is what I use. So we get the level description. There doesn't seem to be anything interesting here. And then we get the items description. So UC, an invoice, a royal scepter. So that actually works pretty well. Actually, let me get some screenshots of this. So we're going to say, let's take the note, and then we're going to do examine. Okay. Actually, you know what? We'll do examine room. Okay. Get another screenshot. And then I'm going to look at my inventory. So it looks like I only use 1 space, but I might actually end up using 2 spaces instead of 1. I kind of like having the larger tab indent. It's a little bit more noticeable. All right, and now I'm going to drop the note in here. And then we're going to go ahead and say examine room. Aha! I hate that it says a invoice, not an invoice. Ah! It's going to drive me nuts. But in any case, this is all just sort of quick functionality anyway. So yeah, that's probably a pretty good spot to end for the day, just because it's been 2.5 hours. So we have an examining the environment working. It still is a little tangled up with the hint system, so I need to split those 2 up and isolate them. But their structures are going to be very similar. It's just that they don't need to be in the same spot, basically. They're going to do very similar things, but there needs to be some separation there. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. Any announcements? We should be back on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, doing our regular stream. We'll pick up where we left off from here. Hopefully, I'll be able to pull the actual item stuff out of the hint, or not the items, the actual environment descriptions out from the hints. That way we can start with 2 separate systems on Thursday. I'll see how far I can get on that. So I don't think I have anything else to say. So as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.